Hi everyone, so I'm home alone today and I thought I would do an update video with the guinea pigs. And then I kind of went a bit crazy and thought why not do a floor time setup for them, because they haven't really had floor time properly, not all four of them together, and especially not in such a big area as this, so I think they're really going to enjoy it. So I'm going to go and get the guinea pigs and I'll talk through the updates with you, show you some new stuff that they've got about Lyra's ear infection and things like that. And also just kind of give you some tips on giving your guinea pigs floor time, because it is really useful just to give them that extra exercise and stimulation, especially if they live in a smaller cage. So I'll just go and get the piggies and we can see them exploring. So there they go, they're off. I've also sat myself down in their little area. Hopefully they won't destroy anything, but it is best that we keep an eye on them during floor time to make sure they don't get into any mischief. So the first update is about Lyra and her ear infection. Now if you watched my previous video, you'll know that Lyra has been to the vets for an ear infection. She was put on a course of Baytril. She went back a few times to have a checkup and to have her ear cleaned, and I also asked if they could do a swab. And when they take a swab, ideally they kind of get some pus or something from the ear and send it off to the laboratory, and then they do a culture and see what kind of bacteria grows and whether the antibiotic that is treating it is the right one. They said that no bacteria had grown on it and they were still waiting for a yeast culture to see if there was any yeast infection or anything like that, but I think that's unlikely. So that was good news that the swab didn't grow any bacteria, because it indicates that the Baytril that they prescribed was working for her. She's now off the antibiotics. She appears to be a lot better, although the ear is still quite sensitive. I have tried to clean it out a few times. I am kind of suspecting maybe rather than an infection, she's just susceptible to getting dirty ears and getting a build-up of wax in them, which poor piggy would be a bit annoying for her. So I'm just going to see how we go. I might take her to the vets again. I know that ear infections can be something that recurs, especially if the first course of antibiotics didn't get rid of all of the infection completely. So we might take her back to the vets. If you've had any experiences with ear infections and perhaps recurring infections in your own guinea pigs, then that would be really great if you could share your experiences. Hello, cutie pie. I know, it's very big, isn't it? You don't know where to go. Yes. So as you can see, the babies are getting a lot bigger, and especially Twiglet, wherever she's gone. There she is. So especially Twiglet, she's very big. She's about 100 grams heavier than Lyra. And she's very greedy, aren't you? Sprite appears to have just taken a residence in one of the wooden hideys. And I don't know why Twiglet is squeaking so much. She's very vocal. She's always twittering to herself. And she has the loudest ever squeaks I've ever heard in a guinea pig when there is vegetables around. Oh dear, I think she heard me say vegetables. Ah! Sorry, the camera's going blurry. Ah. So as you can see, I have their litter boxes out, which is a really good idea for floor time because hay is the most important part of the diet. And even if you're just going to leave them out for an hour, then it is really important that they have hay available so that they can have a munch on it, because hay really just keeps their whole digestive system going and they shouldn't be without it at all. They should have it all the time. So I've got the litter boxes out, which is also good because hopefully they'll use them for the toilet as well. As you can see, I've got a kind of combination of the cage liners and also the bare carpet. I've put the cage liners in the places that I think they're more likely to have an accident. I don't think it's really necessary to toilet proof the whole area, because some of the area, like the big open spaces, they're just going to run across it. They're not really going to hang around there too much and go to the toilet, fingers crossed. There might be a few poops, but there shouldn't really be any wheeze in these areas. Also, if you're using things like hidey houses, you should definitely use pads for them, waterproof pads, because they are much more likely to go to the toilet in there, especially if they're hanging around in there, reluctant to come out and explore Sprite. No, she's an older piggy, so she's not as bothered about exploring such a large area like this. So the second update was to talk through some of the new stuff that I got the guinea pigs, and these wooden houses, this one over here, are not actually new. I did get them a few years back, some of you might remember, but I haven't really used them a lot. I've only really started using them again because I've made these pads for them especially to fit underneath, so they don't have to be used in an area where there's hay, because obviously they're going to go to the toilet under there. It's one of those places and having the waterproof pads really helps, and just means it's good for me to use them in the cage again. Some of the other new things that they've got, I actually made them some new beds. So I made them a cuddle cup bed and also a snuggle sack over there, which is kind of looking very open at the moment, but there you can see. And I used this lovely bird print, and this one's called Wing Song, and it's just so nice. We sell it in the fabric shop, and I just had to get some and make a few items for the piggies out of it because it's so pretty. I really love that print. And there's the bed. And they've been enjoying those. This is one of the other new things that the new piggies have had. I'm sure you've seen this in a few of my other videos. This is just a cushion that I got from B&M, and it was just there for a couple of pounds, and I thought, why not? I was getting some fleece and stuff to make the liners, and I thought it was quite cute, and actually they really like it. The babies climb up on it and sit on it. Willow will climb up and lounge on it. They'll play around it, and yeah, they really like that. So that's a kind of different item, because usually I don't get them cushions and stuff like that, but maybe I'll think about getting them a few more things because they do really like it. And finally, this hay box is actually another new item that I got for the new guinea pigs. And I'd seen this on a forum, I think it was Guinea Pig Cages, and someone had just said that they'd been to B&Q and got a storage box and made it, cut an entrance in it and started using it as a hay box. And I thought, that's a really good idea, but how on earth am I going to cut the entrance in it? And basically what I ended up doing was just getting a bit creative with a Stanley knife, but then of course you're left with quite a sharp edge, so instead of leaving that sharp I got some sandpaper and sand it down so it's nice and soft and they're not going to hurt themselves on it at all. That really makes a great litter box, because they needed a bigger one really. The kind of cat litter boxes you can get from Pets at Home aren't that big really, and I wanted something that was nice and clear looking and a bit more posh and nice looking than the other ones they've got. So when you have your guinea pigs out for floor time, it's a really good idea just to give them loads of different things that they can explore and play with. So in here I've got some hideys, I've got some cosy soft things for them, as Twiglet is demonstrating very nicely. I've also got some chew toys, a treat ball, some loofah, carrot. Then they've also got their big long tunnel to encourage them to explore. Tunnels are really good for using with floor time. Over here they have a few more hideys and another tunnel. That's kind of a little cosy area. And then finally in this corner they've got two more beds, and they've also got this stuff which I thought I'd just use as a kind of different texture for them to explore. And if you don't know what this is vet bed, and it's also really good to use as a, like, instead of fleece, a liner for guinea pig cages. But if you were wondering about their water bottles or lack of them, I actually put in a few bowls full of water for them. And I'm really pleased to see Willow using them actually. I've not seen guinea pigs drinking out of water bowls before, And obviously I didn't want them to be without water for a long time, so I popped in those bowls, and it's nice to see her using them and having a drink. And aside from the piggies, the third update is to do with the sewing and the Etsy shop. For any of you that's contacted me, you'll know that I was recently taking a bit of a break from sewing and not really making any new items. Since kind of before Annie's death, up until now, I've not really been doing that much on the sewing side of things, but I am starting to get back into it now. I've made a few items that are for sale on Facebook and also in the Etsy shop. On Facebook I have this little set here. I've got a cuddle cup and also a snuggle sack. On Etsy I've got this set in the brown cupcakes, which is the very last of this fabric. They don't actually make it anymore, so this is the last little bit that I had left to make these two items. And on Etsy I also have this snuggle sack, which has the lovely British icons print, and this little set of tunnel and snuggle sack in this is one of the elephant prints. This is the elephant romp with orange fleece, which I think is really nice and a really bright colour combination. So I just thought I'd quickly show you the things I had for sale at the moment, and also let you know that I am taking custom orders again. Just a word of warning, if you do want to place a custom order with me, the wait will be quite long because I am very busy with work during the week and I don't want to compromise on quality at all. All of the items do take me a long time to make, and I really don't want to have to rush anything and produce something that's not as high quality as it could have been. So that's just a note about the sewing and the Etsy shop and that kind of thing. Let me know if you want to hear more about this side of things, or if you're not too bothered, that's completely fine. I think I tired someone out. Willow was running about a lot earlier, so I took a few shots of her and I think I'll play them at the end of this video. But now she's a very tired piggy. Aww. So I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing the kind of Floortime setup and hearing about the updates that have been going on with Lyra and all the new stuff and the sewing side of things as well. Please leave your comments below. If you have any questions, I will get back to you. And if you haven't already, then please subscribe. I have to zoom in on this because it's pretty funny. I think there's one tired piggy. So just before I go, a quick note about Floortime in general. The advice on guinea pig cages is that if you have a cage smaller than a 2x4 CNC cage, then it's a really good idea to give your guinea pigs that extra additional floor time so they can get more exercise. Because surprisingly, even with a bigger cage, they can kind of get used to what's where and they won't really bother exercising so much. And they kind of suggest a minimum time, floor time for 1 hour a day, but obviously this isn't really practical for a lot of people, so my advice would be to just do it as often as you can and really just take the opportunity to kind of bond with your piggies as well. And for younger piggies and more timid piggies, eventually, not the first time, maybe not the first few times, but Floortime will help them to come out of their shell and help them to become more tame as well. So thank you for watching so much. Sorry this is probably quite a long video, but I did hope you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching. Bye bye!